Number 13, Vinicius Leonardis, the captain. And rounding out your Rio All-Stars lineup is number 12, Pedro Vitor. The head coach of Rio is Marco Agnew. And now for your away team, Club Football Rouge Belenenses. In goal, number 12, Carlos Paulo. Number 4, Bruno Pires. Number 5, Dario Sa. Number 11, João Marquez. And rounding out your Belenenses lineup is number 13, Bruninho. The head coach for Belenenses is Carlos Teixeira. The officials for tonight's match, the first official is Georgios Zervos. The second official is Piazet Minowski. At the table is Luis Boris and Maria Rivard. Please stay tuned for the remainder of our game. As we give away the trophy presentation, we also remind you to use caution as balls leave the area of play frequently and at high rates of speed.
Good afternoon, everybody. I know I said I wouldn't be back for this broadcast, but guess what? I am. This is Doug Chin here from the UMass Boston Clark Athletic Center Gymnasium to bring you Game 2 of today's New England International Futsal Challenge doubleheader. This game between the Rio de Janeiro All-Stars and Os Belenenses. Rio All-Stars obviously from Brazil. Os Belenenses, a professional club from Portugal. In a second, we'll get you the starting lineups, but right now we're going to get you right into the action as this is shot on by Vitor, shot wide. Vitor is one of the starters for the Rio All-Stars. He is joined by Leonardo Garcia, Leonardo St. Clair, Paulo Roberto, as this is shot on by Bruno Pires, and that goes wide, but for a corner. And the fifth starter, shot on, locked in front We'll eventually get to him. The 5th starter for the Rio Stars, the captain, Belenenses Leonardes. And the starters for Us Belenenses, number 4, Bruno Pires, who had that shot just a second ago, not a minute. I have bad ideas of time as we're getting a foul called here against Us Belenenses. Joining Pires are Dario Sa, Joan Marquez, Bruninho, and the goalkeeper, Carlos Paulo. You're gonna have to excuse me for some of my pronunciations on these names. With all the Brazilian and Portuguese names, I may struggle. As in the first game, as this ball is chipped towards the Belenenses goal. The officials for today's match are Perazit Manowski, taking the first referee responsibilities. He is assisted by Georgios Zeros. They switched roles from the first match today. And at the table, 3rd referee, Luis Borges, as the shot is blocked. And 4th official, Maria Brouillard. So now that we got you all set up for today's game, let's jump right back into the action. Belenenses in possession. Belenenses in the all blue uniforms with a shot on by Dario Sa there, save by Roberto. And they're going from right to left on your screens. Nice move there, shot on, blocked in front. The Rio All-Stars in their all red kits will be going from left to right. Rio All-Stars looking to start a quick counter. That ball will go out of play. I apologize to all our fans listening in that speak Portuguese. Hopefully you also understand English, because it's my only language. The Rio All-Stars looking to counter here. It's going to be a foul called on Belenenses. This foul is going to be called on number 5, Dario Sa. Second foul against the visitors today. These two teams, both undefeated in this weekend's challenge. As they defeated the 2 American teams that we just saw play not too long ago. For those of you that missed it, game 1 between the U.S. Select Team and 3-time national champion Safira finished 5-3 with Safira on top. No score here, about 2 minutes in to game 2. Belenenses on the attack. Number 4, Bruno Pires puts a shot on goal, but that's turned away by Paulo Roberto. Roberto looking to counter. The Rio All-Stars will reset, but broken up in the midfield by Belenenses. Shot on here by number 5, Dario Sa. His shot goes high. Belenenses so far dominating play offensively, out shooting their opponents 3 shots to 1. Again, all my stats are unofficial, but since they're the only ones, we're gonna call them official. For those of you unfamiliar with futsal that may not have tuned in to our first match today, we will get you caught up on some of the difference between this indoor game and the full-sided 11v11 game. We'll also catch you up on some of the history of this wonderful sport. The Rio All-Stars trying to counter. Vitor plays out to the left flank, but that's broken up. Foul called there against Belenenses. That's number 3 on them. That foul was on Sa. Sa took down number 4, Leonardo St. Clair. 3 fouls now against Belenenses. As I mentioned in game 1, one of the differences between the outdoor game and futsal is that teams accumulate fouls. The first 5 fouls are treated just like any other foul in an outdoor game, as this ball is thrown long, finds Sa. Sa is going to get fouled by number 13, the captain, Leonardes. So Belenenses will have the free kick from the left of Roberto. Well, to the right of Roberto, excuse me, from the left side of the court. As we were talking about accumulated fouls, as I mentioned, like we're gonna see here, the first 5 fouls for each team in each half are just handled like outdoors. A regular free kick shot on here by Sa goes wide. But starting with the 6th foul, direct kick foul, the defending team will no longer be allowed to create a wall. If that foul occurs behind the 10-meter mark, you may see a dot in the center of the court, center of the half, excuse me, of each half. The kick will be taken from that second penalty spot. Otherwise, if it takes place in front of that spot, the team may opt to take their free kick from that closer position. We'll see if that happens, as we've seen a lot of fouls early already with the count 3-1. The Rio Stars now in possession. Set up in a 2-2 formation. Another thing you may notice about futsal is it's very fluid, with with players rotating positions all the time. It's a great tool to help develop your skills on the ball, and also positioning, passing as well. That's a foul against Belenenses. That's 4. So they're in foul trouble early, just 4 minutes into this first half. So the Rio Stars will have a free kick from about 11 meters away from goal. I'd like to thank Oscar, who's commenting in our live broadcast chat. I'm doing the best I can, man. Shot on, turned away by the goalkeeper, Paolo. So we'll get a corner kick here. Rio All-Stars with the corner kick. They'll chip it back all the way to St. Clair. St. Clair out to Leonardes. Leonardes reset to the goalkeeper, Roberto. Played out to the left side, shot on, hits the side netting. And Belenenses will look for the counterattack. That will go out of bounds for a a corner kick. Belenenses chips it up top, broken up by the Rio All-Stars. Reset, and that ball will hit the ceiling. This is a situation that we did not have in our first game. Should the ball hit the ceiling, obviously playing indoors is why you'll get that issue. It results in a kick-in from the point on the touchline nearest to where the ball hit the obstruction overhead. This ball is chipped onto the Belenenses bench. They'll take over with a kick-in. Obviously, another difference between futsal and the outdoor game is the kick-in in place of the throw-ins. You'll also have goal clearances instead of goal kicks. We'll point those out when you see one of those. Belenenses on the counterattack now. This is Pires. Ooh, taken down there is number 11, Marquez. And he's taken down by Vitor, who's gonna receive a yellow card caution. So that caution coming at the 5:03 mark. Another difference between futsal and the outdoor game, as this shot is blocked in front, is the man advantage that results if somebody is sent off. We did see that situation occur in our first match today. Should somebody be sent off, hopefully we do not see that again, as this shot is by Sa, goes high. The team that receives the send-off will not have to play down the whole game, but they will have to play down for 2 minutes or until a goal is scored by the team with the man advantage. This is Marquez now, bringing it up the left flank, back to the pivot, number 9, Carviejo. No score here, as the clock is stopped at 14:37. Another difference between soccer and futsal is the stop clock, 20-minute halves here in the indoor game. The official indoor game sanctioned by FIFA. None of that boarded stuff. And it's really become a strong developmental tool for soccer players here in the United States. As I mentioned, in our first game, there were a couple of college players playing on that select team. A lot of them playing in the Little East Conference. A few players from Rhode Island College, a few players from UMass Boston, all developed their skills playing futsal. As Belenenses will get a corner kick here. Volleyed out of the air by number 5, Sa, but that's saved and turned away by Roberto. Sa's first shot on goal according to my stats. Pires. Out to the left side to Carviejo. Back to reset. This is Pires. Pires shot on, blocked in front. Ball came over in our direction, but I wasn't quick enough to get it. Kick in now for Belenenses. Oscar giving us feedback again. Number 9, we're going to call him Thiago. Makes it easier for everyone. Thank you, Oscar. As this ball is turned over, Rio All-Stars take possession. They'll reset back to their keeper. Once again, the Rio All-Stars in red, Belenenses in blue. No score yet. Shot on, blocked in front. And this will go out of bounds for a goal clearance. Here's the goal clearance we were talking about earlier. Ball played out of the keeper's hands and out of the penalty arc. Thiago. Out to the right side. To Ribeiro. Pires tried to send her in front. Turned away by the All-Stars. We're going to get a timeout here, called by Belenenses, our first timeout of the game. That's one of the other differences that we'd like to point out about futsal and soccer, is that while soccer has the 45-minute running clock, futsal has that 20-minute stop clock, and also each team is allotted 1 timeout per half. That timeout has to come when your team is in possession and the ball goes out of play, as has the opportunity right now. So no score here at the Clark Athletic Center Gymnasium. At this time, we'd like to point out some of our sponsors for today's match and the whole International Futsal Challenge. New England International Futsal Challenge and tonight's match are made possible with the support of Bay Coast Bank, Sada Airlines, Tor Azores, Navigant Credit Union, Canaan Group, 4Coach, Hampton and Fall River Westport, and We Got Soccer. We'd also like to thank USFF and Sport Court for their support in this weekend's International Futsal Challenge. Play resuming now with 12:50 remaining here in the first half. Thiago, shot on, saved by Roberto. He's gonna go with a long throw. And Belenenses keeper, Carlos Paulo, is able to head that one away. Shot on here. Just wide by Vitor. Vitor picked up a yellow card caution. Back in the 5th minute. 6th minute, actually. Just into the 6th minute. 5:03 is when he picked up that yellow card caution. Belenenses up the right flank. He'll go down, and we'll get another free kick. Fouls now 4-3. 4 for Belenenses, 3 for the Rio Stars, with still 12 minutes remaining. So we might get to see some of those no-wall free kicks. This free kick coming basically a corner kick. Pires over the ball. Pires tries to slide it in front to Nundo. And that's blocked. Belenenses looking to counter again as they start the attack in the midfield. Thiago back to Ribeiro. Shot on here by Nundo. Just wide. By my count, 8-4 shots advantage for Belenenses. Ooh, and the Rio Stars are going to get called for the foul there. 4 apiece now. It looked like Ribeiro may have been holding on, but that's not the way first referee Piazat Manoski saw it. Thiago now. Thiago looking to turn. Tries to put it towards goal, but that's blocked in front. And we'll get a corner kick for Belenenses. Thiago tries to put it in front. Turned away. Rio Stars trying to counter. Turn it over here. Thiago. Thiago with a nice feint there. He gets taken down, no foul called. Giorgio Zerva says no foul called there, clean tackle. Shot on by Pires, which will be blocked and out for a corner kick from the left side. So once again, we'll give you a little bit of a futsal education when we get a chance. Shot on here by Nundo. That's blocked. The official indoor game, sanctioned by FIFA, uses a heavier and smaller ball, about a size 4. So has 30% less bounce as this shot is put on and turned away. Roberto. Belenenses had a second opportunity that was also turned away. Looking for a foul there, not given. As Pires tries to put it centered, but it's deflected wide. And we're going to get a caution on Thiago as he failed to respect the distance on that kick-in. So our second caution of the game. This one coming at the 9:57 mark. Cross-court pass over to Vitor. Vitor, the other player that has received a yellow card caution. in this match so far. Chipped up top, finds Georges, but he's unable to corral it, and it will go out of bounds for a goal clearance. No score here, about halfway through the first half. Game 2, New England International Futsal Challenge, here at the Clark Athletic Center Gymnasium on the campus of UMass Boston. Belenenses with the shot on. Thiago comes back to Ribeiro. Ribeiro out to Nundo. Nundo cross court. Finds Pires. Pires brings it back to the center. Over to Ribeiro. Pires with the shot on. Save by Paulo Roberto of Rio Stars. Three shots on goal now for Pires. Thiago will take this corner kick. Quickly taken. Somehow stays in, and the Rio Stars look to counter. This is Vitor. Vitor with the shot on. Save by Paulo. Just the second save that the Belenenses goalkeeper has had to make today. As this corner kick is taken quickly, tried to put it on goal was number 12, Pedro Vitor. Reset all the way back to Roberto. Roberto finds Vitor. Vitor back to Roberto. That ball's chipped beyond. Oh no, it went off the touchline. It's going to be a kick in. Futsal, you will see the goalkeepers get involved in the offense quite often. No score still. Nundo over to Joan Marquez. Lost his footing there, and the Rio Stars look to counter. Well broken up there by number 13, Bruninho. You may also, hold on one second, as we get an opportunity now for the Real Stars. No, it went out of bounds. It's going to be a kick in for Belenenses. You may notice that there have been a few names mentioned on the court that were not listed as starters. In futsal, you have unlimited flying substitutions, similar to hockey. Unlike in soccer, where you have 3 substitutions with no re-entry. Belenenses, Marquez. Marquez will reset to Nundo. Nundo towards the corner. Belenenses take the kick in, and they'll reset all the way to the back. To Bruninho, who finds Nundo. Playing out to the left side is Marquez. Reset, back to Sa. You can see the great speed and excellent touch by these players, which is why so many American teams have started using futsal as a development tool. We also mentioned the goalkeepers getting involved in the offense. In today's modern soccer game, goalkeepers are so much more than just goalkeepers. They are soccer players first. You'll see a lot of them handling the ball with their feet a lot more than you used to in the past. As the Rio Stars look to counter, shot on, save. Another shot on, a second save there by Paulo. 2 quick shots in succession by the Rio All-Stars. Shot, that's blocked. Chipped up top. This will go out of bounds for a corner kick for the Rio All-Stars. Rio All-Stars reset back to 13. I don't have an 11 on my roster, so I don't know who that is. We'll check that out at halftime for you so that we can get you proper commentary as this is played over to Vitor. .7:24 remaining here in the first half. No score. And we're going to get our 5th foul call against Belenenses. That's their 5th. So any continuing free kicks, Belenenses will not be allowed to make a wall. You see second referee Georgios Zervas letting the benches know that's 5. So this is going to be St. Clair on the ball for the free kick. Marquez and Bruninho in the wall. Bruninho will leave the wall, so it's just a one-man blocking for Marquez. Roberto, nothing. Now Belenenses on the attack. Bruninho plays it out to Marquez. Marquez looking for Nundo. This is Sa. They'll reset back to Bruninho. Now Sa up the left flank. Finds Marquez. Marquez back to Bruninho. Bruninho back to Sa, back to Bruninho. Bruninho tried to find number 17, Nundo, but the Rio Stars were able to break up that attack, and they'll reset now. 6:33 on the clock. Kick in for the Rio Stars. You will also see the referees counting off the 4 seconds. That's another difference between soccer and futsal, as this is headed towards the Belenenses goal by number 11. And we're going to get our 5th foul call now on Rio All-Stars. So the next foul that we have, there will be no wall. Before that action, I was telling you about the 4 seconds. In futsal, you have 4 seconds to make each restart. That's your goal clearances, your kick-ins, your free kicks, corner kicks. 4 seconds once you have the ability to make the play. If you do not restart play in those 4 seconds, the ball is turned over with an indirect kick awarded to the opposing team. As that ball is played into the crowd. Pretty good crowd here at the Clark Athletic Gymnasium for tonight's match, this afternoon's match. It gets dark early here in the winter. Shot on by St. Clair, but that's blocked in front. Belenenses looking to chip Roberto, but obstruction in the rafters got in the way, so it'll be a kick in for Rio. Again, the kick in takes place on the touchline closer to the point where the ball hit the obstruction, so Rio All-Stars were forced to bring that ball back. This is Vitor looking to shoot it on, well defended there by Belenenses. No foul called there. Belenenses with the shot. Sa! No, goes wide. Sa with 5 shots so far in the game. Only one of them has been on goal. This is our unknown number 11 who gives it up to Vitor. Rio All-Stars wanted a foul there. No such luck as captain Vinicius Leonardes went down. Vitor, nice move there, shot on, save by Paulo. Paulo's 5th save of the game according to my numbers, but it will be a Rio All-Stars corner kick. They tried to reset back to St. Clair, but it went out of bounds, and it'll be a kick in for Belenenses. Trying to give that ball back. It hit one of our cameras over there. But it looks like everybody's all right. While we have the opportunity, I'd like to thank our production team helping us run this broadcast today. Our producer, Steve Rice, camera operators, Dan Rice, Adam Kitchen, and Denise Pumaja. Pumaguaja. I'm doing the best I can. As the Rio All-Stars look for a quick counter, I am Doug Chin. I'd like to thank you for tuning in to today's broadcast of tonight's match between Belenenses and the Rio All-Stars, the final game of the New England International Futsal Challenge. Still no score here, with about 5 minutes remaining in the half. Just played up front, here's a chance! Shot just wide by Bruninho. Good opportunity there as Paulo Roberto got caught out of his net. A good crossing pass, but they just couldn't put it away. Oh, and there's gonna be our 6th foul. And it's gonna be called against, I'm not sure what's being called here. Is it a foul? It looks like Georgios is signaling for an indirect kick. Perhaps he is signaling that it was an obstruction, not a hold. Yes, it is an indirect kick, so I gotta imagine that he's calling the Belenenses player for impeding the progress of Vitor, as it was an indirect kick. And now a 4-second violation, so the ball will be turned over to Belenenses. A lot of confusion going on that call. Anyways, we're back into action. This is Pires. Now Sa over to Pires. Pires looking for Marquez in the middle, but it's turned over. Vega. Back to St. Clair. Back to Roberto. Roberto sends it up front. This is going to be a Rio All-Stars ball. 4 minutes remaining, and we're going to get our timeout called. This one's going to be by the Rio All-Stars, as Belenenses has already used their first half timeout. So we're scoreless here at the Clark Athletic Center Gymnasium. 5 fouls apiece, so the next direct kick foul will result in a free kick without a wall. We'd like to thank our sponsors for supporting tonight's match: Bay Coast Bank, Sada Airlines, Tour Azores, Navgan Credit Union, Canaan Group, Ford Coach, Hampton Inn Fall River Westport, and We Got Soccer. We'd also like to thank a few organizations for their support in putting on this event: USFF and Sport Court. And hear the PA system right now. There will be a trophy presentation at the end of today's match. A brilliant weekend of futsal this weekend, as these 4 teams that you saw play today played a round robin. These 2 teams playing right now went undefeated. I believe we've gotten to all the differences between soccer and futsal, except for one. In outdoor soccer, you are allowed to pass back to your goalkeeper as much as you want. However, in futsal, in your own half, the goalkeeper may only possess the ball once until it touches an opponent and goes out of play. So if you see a player play either of the goalkeepers twice, For example, if Roberto got the ball back there, it will result in an indirect free kick for the other team. Shot up right, and it's going to be an own goal. The Rio Stars get on the board first, as it looked like it deflected off of number 11, Juan Marquez, in front to give the Rio All-Stars the lead. We'll see what the official scoring is when the PA announces it. Belenenses looking for the equalizer now. No such luck. No announcement coming, so we're going to credit that own goal against Belenenses, as Pires shoots that one wide. Roberto going the length of the cart, finds number 12, Vitor, but it deflects off his head and out of bounds for goal clearance. We're going to try to get another long throw, as Sa was found, but he's unable to handle it either. The Rio All-Stars will take over. So our first goal of the game coming at 3:47, an own goal against Belenenses. And another 4-second violation against the Rio All-Stars. This is number 11 now, Marquez. Marquez trying to take on St. Clair. Instead, he'll reset back to Bruninho. That ball's deflected back into the backcourt, and Pires will pick it up. Pires over to Sa. Sa with a shot on. That ball dipped a little, but it was still high. Sa leading all shooters with 6. However, only one of them has been on goal. St. Clair out to the left flank to Pires. Belenenses now looking to counter. Sa broken up by St. Clair. St. Clair with 1 to beat. 3 Belenenses defenders get back to reset. St. Clair finds not Marquez, our mystery number 11 on the right flank. Good possession here now by the Rio Stars. Rio! As Vitor put that one high. He's leading his team in shots with 5. 2 of those have been on goal. 5 saves for each goalkeeper. Shot on by number 4. Pires hit off the woodwork. Goalkeepers tend to want to try to stretch the play here, as Sa now on the attack. He brings it over to the right flank. He's going to reset to Thiago. Thiago, left side to Marquez. Marquez is going to bring it back center, over to Thiago on the right flank. Quick ball movement now by Belenenses. Sa. Thiago. Marquez tried to slot it in front, but it was broken up. The Rio Stars hold a 1-goal lead with 1:30 remaining here in the first half. It came on an own goal. 3:47 left in the first half. It's the shot on by number 4, Pires, goes wide. Juan Perez plays it out to looking at the wrong roster. 1:13 remaining here in the first half. Very tight match played here today. You would expect nothing less after watching Friday and Saturday's matches. This whole New England International Futsal Challenge started Friday night when all these four teams played each other on the campus of Rhode Island College. The showcase continued last night at the Luke Garvin Fieldhouse at BMC Durfee High School. And it is concluding here today in the Clark Athletic Center Gymnasium at UMass Boston. Under a minute now, the Rio Stars hold a 1-goal lead and possession of the ball. Cross court, Leonardis. He gets it back. He's going to reset to Roberto. Roberto looking to chip over to Georges. No good there as Belenenses is looking to counter with 25 seconds remaining. But they'll lose that ball out of play, and the Rio Stars will take over. Roberto with the ball. He's only got 4 seconds, you got to remember. Tries to cheap it up, looking for Georges, Marcos Georges, but a little too much on it, and he'll go out of play for a goal clearance with 15 seconds remaining here in the first half. Nundo. Well tackled there by St. Clair. He kicked the ball away, but he's just going to get a talking to by Menoski. Time is going to expire as the Rio Stars had a chance to counter. So the first half ends with the Rio Stars with a 1-0 advantage. Okay, welcome back to the Clark Athletic Center Gymnasium. I am Doug Chin, as we are awaiting the second half of the final match of the New England International Futsal Challenge. Today's match is between the Rio Stars and US Belenenses. But at this time, I'd like to thank the New England International Futsal Challenge. We'd like to recognize our community partners who have made tonight's match possible. The Midwest Grill, Jerry Remy's of Fall River, Sunset Cafe, Brazilian Grill, Whites of Westport, and Sarge's Restaurant. I'd like to thank them for helping put on this fantastic event. The teams are returning to the court just now, and we'll have 20 minutes more of play. Let me get you my unofficial official stats. I had the Rio All-Stars with 10 total shots, 5 of them on goal, and they also scored an own goal. While I had US Belenenses with 15 total shots, 5 of those were on goal. Leading the way amongst all players was Belenenses' Dario Sa with 6 shots total, but unable to get his team on the board. As we wait for the Rio Stars to return, you will notice, once we get zoomed back out, that the two teams have switched benches. That is another of the caveats about futsal. Because of the flying substitutions, teams started to take advantage of that in the second half. When they were substituting in the offensive end, they would have people come in on the end of the bench closest to the midfield line and have their substitute enter at the other end, giving them a slight advantage. So at that point, FIFA decided to change the rule, said, all right, we're gonna have to switch sides. How about we also switch benches? So now you will see that all the substitutions occur in the defensive half of the field. So the teams are back on the field. Our officials are taking position, and we are about ready for play of the second half. Belenenses will have the kickoff, still in their blue uniforms. going from left to right across your screen. While the Rio All-Stars in their all red kits will be going from right to left. Getting the okay from the people at the table. In case you were wondering, the fouls do reset at halftime. So those 5 fouls that each team accumulated in the first half, those have been wiped out. They will get a fresh 5 here in the second half. And we are underway. Thiago playing on that left flank, comes central. We figured out who that mystery number 11 was for the Rio Stars. It was Leonardo Garcia, who we had listed as number 3. So that problem has been solved. And here come the Rio Stars on an attack. But that's broken up by number 3, Pablo Ribeiro. Ribeiro, Thiago, Pires, and Sa, the 4 field players for Belenenses, with Sergio Alves in goal. Alves replacing Carlos Paulo. The 5 on the court for Rio All-Stars. Is their goalkeeper still in there? Carlos Paulo, excuse me, their goalkeeper, Paulo Roberto. Number 4 is Leonardo St. Clair. Vinicius Leonardes. Pedro Vitor. As Sa's shot goes high. And who is that 4th starter out there for Rio Stars? It is our mystery number 11, Leonardo Garcia. Why he wouldn't want to wear 3, I don't know. That's the number I wore when I played. It's a very good number in my opinion. As Garcia goes down, no foul called as Georgios Zerves says, no. Little bit of pushing happening right in front of us in midfield. Referee on this side just trying to calm things down. This ball is played into the corner to Sa. Sa, double team. Slides it in front. Shot on. Save. Another chance. Saved again. Thiago and Ribeiro with chances. So Paulo Roberto keeping the Rio Stars ahead here in the second half. Roberto plays to the corner, over to Garcia. Garcia looking to cross, unable to do so. Ball will come back to the All-Stars. But now Belenenses, Thiago, chip! And it looked like Roberto got just enough of that to turn it away. Roberto was about 11 meters from goal, well outside of his penalty area, was able to get ahead on it as Thiago tries to slide that in front. And this is Vitor. Vitor back to Leonardes. Leonardes finds St. Clair. St. Clair over to Vitor. Reset to the back to Garcia. Rio Stars will reset. That ball is coming over in our direction, but it will go out of play. Shot on here by number 4, Bruno Pires. That one will go wide. The Rio Stars with the 1-goal lead. and the ball. St. Clair plays it out to the right flank. Cross court, looking for Garcia. Garcia just tries to power that through, but it's broken up by Belenenses. So the Rio Stars now with a corner kick. It will be it's a kick in as it went over the touchline, not the goal line. St. Clair trying to bring it up the right flank, but he's dispossessed by number 4, Bruno Perez. The all-star team from Rio de Janeiro with the ball. And they'll reset to Roberto. Roberto held the ball for 4 seconds, so we're going to get an indirect kick for Belenenses. As we mentioned earlier, the goalkeeper in futsal may not possess the ball in his hands or at his feet for longer than 4 seconds, or else it results in what we're about to see here, an indirect free kick. Perez is also going to get called for a 4-second violation. So we got 4-second violations all over the place right now. There's the whistle. This ball does get back into play. As it comes back to Roberto. Roberto steps into his opponent's half, negating the 4-second rule. And he may now also receive the ball back from his teammates. As this ball will go out of play, Belenenses will take over. Perez resets back to Thiago. Out to the left side to Nuno. Now this is Sa. Finds Nuno on the goal line. Roberto came out to challenge, not allowing Nuno to turn. Nuno looking to center, but it's taken away by St. Clair. St. Clair beats 1 defender, but can't beat the second. But he was able to play it off a Belenenses defender. So it will be a corner kick for the Rio Stars. Unlike the first half, where we picked up a lot of fouls early, there have been no fouls here in the first 5 minutes of the second. As we mentioned earlier, Belenenses, a team from Portugal, and obviously the Rio All-Stars, a team from Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. This ball will come back to Roberto. Obviously, these are 2 international teams, but as I mentioned earlier, the governing body for futsal in the United States is the USFF. They've been governing the sport of futsal in the U.S. since 1981. Their current president is Alex Parra. National director of coaching is one of New England's own, Bill Sampaio, who helped put today's event together, as this shot is blocked and will go out for a corner for Belenenses. Sampaio's partner in putting together this event is Craig Tornberg, the former assistant general manager of the New England Revolution, as Sa's shot is deflected wide by Roberto. This is played to the corner to Sa. Blocked in front. The Rio Stars captain finds Garcia. Garcia tries to side across court, but it's broken up by Marquez. So Belenenses on the attack now. Pires attempted the chip, wasn't able to get it done. Oh, and now we have a chance now for Belenenses. Played over to the right side. Marquez couldn't get it back center, but it will be Belenenses' ball. Shot on here, blocked in front. Nundo's shot was. Shot on here, that one is also blocked as Bruninho tried to get a shot on Sa. Out to Nundo. Nundo resets to Marquez. Marquez to Bruninho. Back to Marquez. Bruninho now. Brings it central, over to Sa. Marquez. Bruninho goes to the corner for Nundo. Shot in front. Too high. Good chance there by Joan Marquez, but he was unable to put it on goal. We're going to get a foul call here as Bruninho got tangled up with Pedro Vitor. So our first foul of the second half coming about 6.5 minutes in, and it will go against Belenenses. This is going to be Garcia on the ball. He's going to try to go to goal, but it was blocked in front by Sa. Should be no surprise that these two teams are skilled, especially the Brazilians. When the governing body, first governing body of international futsal was created, FIFUSA, and they held the first world championship. Brazil beat Paraguay in that championship, which was held in Sao Paulo back in 1982. When FIFA took over the World Championship and started calling it the World Cup, there have only been 2 champions in that sport. Hold on a second, we'll finish that history lesson in a second. As that ball's turned over by the Rio All-Stars. As I was saying, there have been 7 World Cups sponsored by FIFA. Brazil winning 5 of them, the other 2 being won by Spain. This year's competition will be taking place in Colombia from September 10th to October 1st. The U.S. will be sending a team after they first play in the CONCACAF tournament, which will be held in Costa Rica. Still just the 1 goal separating these teams as we approach 12 minutes remaining in the second half. This is Sa. Played out to the left side to Marquez. Marquez on the left flank. Finds Sa. Sa winds up and fires. Saved by Roberto. Marquez now to Nundo. Back to Bruninho. Sa. Bruninho. Tried to give it back to Sa, but it was broken up. And the Rio Stars will take over with about 12 minutes remaining here in regulation. This is a tightly contested match. Our first match of the day between the U.S. select team and Safira was also tightly contested, with Safira coming out 5-3. It was a 1-goal game, but as the U.S. select team started to push forward to try and score the equalizer, Safira was able to find an empty net and put away the game. Nundo finds Bruninho, back to Nundo. Nundo with a shot on, save by Roberto. Roberto looking counter. Shot on! Goes wide. Garcia with that one. We have a whistle here as first referee Piazit Menoski is going to have a conversation with a couple of players. He brings over Bruninho and Leonardis, the two number 13s. And it looks like an indirect free kick is going to be awarded to the Rio Stars. Vega is able to turn the defender there. But then the Rio Stars turn it over, but they get it back. Cross court finds Leonardis. Leonardis is going to reset back to Roberto. 1, 2. Chipped towards the corner, head on. A little bit too much for Vitor. An own goal separates these two teams right now. Shot on! Bruninho's shot goes just wide. His first shot of the second half. He had one shot in the first. Belenenses with more shots here in the second half. In fact, the Rio Stars do not have one. Excuse me, they have one shot. Belenenses. This is going to be reset. Shot on, saved by Roberto. Good power there by Pires. As we lose another ball that gets stuck on top of the backboard. UMass Boston basketball. I believe they're probably on break now, as a lot of the Division III basketball wrapped up this weekend as teams get ready for break and finals. UMass Boston with a new head coach after longtime head coach Charlie Titus retired last year. Rio Stars now on the attack. Vega tries to turn, finds St. Clair, who gets taken down. And that'll be a foul call. Giorgio Servas just going to go have a conversation with Marquez. No cards issued. That's the second foul against Belenenses. This is the captain, Vinicius Leonardis, on the ball. He's going to go towards goal, shoot it wide. About halfway through the second half, one goal still separates these two teams. An own goal coming with about 4 minutes left in the first half. Ooh, a little bit of miscommunication there, as St. Clair was looking for Vega, and that will result in a turnover in Belenenses' ball. Nundo over to Marquez. Marquez finds Bruninho. He'll be dispossessed by Leonardis. Marquez will take the kick in as Bruninho is tying his boot. Now he steps back onto the court and ready to play. He'll receive the ball now. Played over to Nundo. Nundo looking in front. Shot on! Good effort there by Pires, but it can't find the net. Corner kick for Belenenses. Going aerial, looking for Nundo. Nundo can't handle it, but he'll have time to recover it, and he'll play it back to his keeper. But good pressure there on Alves, and Alves is just forced to play it out. So now the Rio Stars will have a kick in. Right around the area where you'd see a corner kick. Obviously, it is significant whether or not it is a corner kick or a kick in, because corner kicks are direct, whereas kick ins are not. It is a moot point, though, as that ball is blocked out of play for a Rio kick in. Vitor was looking to thread the needle, and then he gets tripped up. Giorgio says no. Now Belenenses with the counterattack. Shot on by Nundo. Saved by Roberto. Looking to counter quickly. Well tied by Alves coming out of his goal to start the counterattack, but now he'll calm Belenenses down, and they will just reset. Marquez to Bruninho. Nundo now. Two players have to be separated there. Giorgio Cerves trying to break it up, and now we have a little bit of a mix-up as the teams step onto the court. The referee's trying to sort things out. Here with 8:34 remaining. There's a lot of pushing going on over there in the corner. Didn't see what started that at all. I saw the ball go out of play. One of the players was not very happy with what happened after that. But it looks like the referees and administrators have gotten things handled. And we're going to get a yellow card issued. And it's issued to the goalkeeper for Belenenses, Sergio Alves. That was probably for coming down the court to get involved in that altercation.
Belenenses number 1, Sergio Alves.
So after all that, we are going to get a goal clearance for the Rio Stars. Giorgio Cerves just telling all the players, let's calm it down, let's play some futsal. As that ball is played out. And now they're talking to the Belenenses bench. I didn't exactly see what happened there. But we play on. This is Sa. Going over to Marquez on the left flank. He'll turn it over, and the Rio Stars will look to counter. Vitor holds off one defender, tries to center it, unable to do so. Belenenses looking to counter. Sa! His shot just goes wide of the post. Brilliant effort there by Sa. 8 minutes remaining here. Rio Stars shot on, save by Alves. That was Garcia with the shot. Belenenses looking to quickly counter. But the Rio Stars will break that up and will go out of play. Under 8 minutes to play. Shot on here by Pires. Bruninho will pick up the rebound. Sa in the corner. Pires winds up and fires. No such luck there. Fourth shot of the half for Pires. 10th shot of the game. Marquez. Gets pushed off, but he's able to keep his feet. Shot on, saved by Roberto. You'd hate to see this game decided by an own goal. It has been such a well-played match. Marquez. Sa, he's gonna wind and fire. Saved by Roberto. Alves looking to counter quick. Sa picks it up. But a quick recovery there. A quick recovery there by number 4. St. Clair, referee saying no foul there. Sa has been one of the better players here in the second half. 5 shots total, 4 of them on goal as Roberto puts one towards goal. And that hits off the crossbar. It looked like Alves was not ready for that. And as they always say, those shots off the crossbar are the most frustrating. First of all, they don't go in. They don't even count as a shot on goal. Marquez now. Comes back to Pires, gets it back to Marquez. Marquez finds Sa. Sa winds and fires, hits the crossbar. Sa now. Marquez. Marquez finds Bruninho. Back to Sa. Sa winds and fires. Turned away by Roberto again. Sa again, another save. It's almost like Sa and Roberto are just playing catch, as Roberto is just going to relieve some of the pressure and send that ball the distance. And now we have an injury timeout, as it looks like St. Clair is down. He's taking off his shoe. Looks like he's grabbing around the arch of his left foot. Didn't see what happened there, but we have a little bit of a break. While we have a break, let's get you our sponsors one more time. The New England International Futsal Challenge in tonight's match is made possible by the support of SATA Airlines, Bay Coast Bank, Navigant Credit Union, Canaan Group, Forward Coach, Tour Azores, Hampton Inn, Fall River, Westport, and We Got Soccer. We'd also like to recognize the USFF and Sport Court. I'd like to thank all of you tuning in and commenting in our stream. Wish I could read more of them, as this is crossed by Sa to nobody. So Rio Stars will take over with just under 6 minutes remaining. Roberto. This is Pires, shot in front, slaughtered in front, turned away by Belenenses. Good chance there by the Rio Stars. Does Thiago de Souza looking to center that ball. I believe this is the first action we've seen from him this afternoon. .540 remaining. Looking to counter now, ours Belenenses. A little bit of contact there, no foul called. Belenenses still in possession. Sa finds Pires. To Bruninho, back to Pires. Over to Marquez. Marquez, broken up. Rio Stars looking to counter. That was Georges. Thrown long. This is Sa. Back to Bruninho. Over to Pires. Pires is going to reset to Sa. Sa. Fends off one defender, but it's taken away. Rio Stars appealing for a handball, no call. Still no call. Bruninho. Over to Pires. Pires is going to reset to Bruninho. Marquez over to Sa. Bruninho. Back to Sa. Sa winds and fires. Looks like he was trying to pass that center to Bruninho. No such luck. As the ball is settled down here by Belenenses. Bruninho finds Marquez. Marquez centers. Oh, almost had another own goal, but turned away by Roberto. That was Vinicius Vega, who almost put that into his own net. The only goal of the game has been an own goal that came in the first half, about 4 minutes remaining. So we're going to have a corner kick now by Belenenses. Bruninho centered. Oh, almost a good look there by Vega. Looking for Vitor, but just offline. Bruninho finds Marquez on the left wing. Marquez centers. No one there. I'd like to thank all of you tuning in here today. Once again, I am Doug Chin, broadcasting here from the Clark Athletic Center Gymnasium on the campus of University of Massachusetts, Boston. Vitor. Chip. Shot on goal! Lasso! What a finish there by number 11, number 11, Leonardo Garcia. A brilliant chip, a brilliant finish. And Rio Stars take a 2-goal lead. Timeout, Belenenses. So, Belenenses will take its timeout now trailing by 2 with just under 4 minutes remaining, as Leonardo Garcia has given the Rio Stars some insurance. Should be interesting to see how the play changes with a 2-goal lead for the Rio Stars. Belenenses has had much of the run of play, at least offensively. They're out shooting Belenenses by my count 17-4 in this half, with 10 of those shots coming on goal. 6 alone from Dario Sa, who has been turned away every time by Paulo Roberto. So the teams have retaken the court with 3:44 remaining. Belenenses is ready to kick it off. Oh, and we have a change in goal for the Rio Stars, trailing by 2. It looks like number 4, Bruno Pires, is now wearing the goalkeeper jersey. So essentially, the Belenenses has decided to pull their goalkeeper. Again, they do have to have a named goalkeeper according to the rules, as Sa puts this one high. By rule, you must have a goalkeeper present on the field. Belenenses does have a goalkeeper, is Bruno Pires, but he is not going to be playing goalkeeper. He is here to be an offensive weapon. He has the ball now and he finds Sa. So it's basically a 5-on-4 now. This is what you'll see towards the end of hockey games, where a team pulls their goalkeeper to get an extra attacker on. Finds center it for Bruninho. Bruninho finds Marquez. Marquez shoots! He scores! Tough angle goal by Marquez, as they are able to sneak it in the near post past the Rio Stars goalkeeper Paulo Roberto. And we have a 1-goal game again with 3:10 remaining. 3:10 remaining. Plenty of time for Belenenses to score the equalizer. That was a tough angle shot by Marquez. It must have deflected off somebody, as Alves is now back in goal. Alves is going to come off in favor of Pires. Again, something that you'll see often in hockey, the pulling of the goalkeeper. Obviously in soccer or futsal, you have to have a goalkeeper, but that person does not have to stay in goal. Shot on by Sa, saved by Roberto. Going the distance, no good there, as it looked like number 12, Vitor, went for the open net. So Belenenses is still with life. Pires. Over to Sa. Back to Pires. Pires winds, fires! Shot just wide! As Georgios is going to stop play. We have a stoppage of play here. I believe Georgios was stopping it because one of the Belenenses players was preventing the goalkeeper from throwing it out, and it was number 3, Paulo Ribeiro, so he will be cautioned for that. And we're going to get a timeout here.
Timeout, Rio Stars.
So the Rio Stars utilizing their timeout. So this yellow card comes at 2:19 in the second half, issued to number 3, Paulo Ribeiro. So this final 2 minutes and 19 seconds should be an exciting one. 1-goal game. I believe when we come back, it'll be a goal clearance for the Rio Stars. We're going to try this one more time. I'd like to thank our production crew for today's game. Let's see if I mess up any names here. Steve Rice, our producer. Dan Rice. Adam Kitchen. Denise Pumagwaja. Pumagwaja. Close enough. On camera. I am Doug Chin. As the teams retake the court. So we will have a goal clearance coming from the Rio Stars. Goal clearance from Roberto. 2:19 remaining. He's going to go along with it. Broken up by Belenenses, but taken control of by Vitor. Belenenses trying pressure strong. Garcia able to turn as they'll reset. Leonardes out to number 10, George. Belenenses looking to counter now. This is Sa. Sa with the ball in his own half. Alves heads to the bench. Pires onto the field. 5-on-4 now. Empty net on the Belenenses end. Sa back to Pires. Pires finds Bruninho. Back to Sa. Sa winds and fires. Shot saved by Roberto. 8 shots on goal this half. 9 total for Dario Sa. None of them have gone in. Sa with it now. He's going to wind and fire again. That one's blocked. Oh, bicycle kick there by number 3, Paulo Ribeiro. But it goes over the net and out of play. And now we have another injury on the Rio Stars. It looks like number 11, Leonardo Garcia, is down. we have another stoppage here as the trainers come on to take a look at him. 1:24 remaining, 1-goal game. I don't think the fouls are going to become an issue, as there have just been 2 fouls called in the second half, both against Belenenses, so I don't think we're going to get to that accumulated fouls, no wall free kicks, as it looks like Garcia is all right. He's being told he has to leave the field because a trainer came on. As this will be advanced to the offensive third. Vitor loses control of it. That's shot on goal, but that was already out of bounds as we have a goal clearance. Belenenses. Alves vacates the net again. Shot in front, blocked. Ribeiro able to keep it in. Keep the clock running. 1 minute remaining. 1:07 to be exact. Back to Pires. Bruninho finds Marquez. Marquez shot on, save! Back to Pires. Ribeiro. Dribbled it out of bounds. It'll be turnover, and it'll be a goal clearance for the Rio Stars with 51 seconds remaining with the 1-goal lead. This ball is played up to Garcia. Garcia gets pushed down. Georgios is going to come and make the foul call. People complaining that the ball was kicked away. It looks like Ribeiro is complaining probably still about that out of bounds call. It looked from here like it was out of play and it should have been a goal clearance. But obviously he does not agree, giving our first referee, Piazit Menoski, a few looks. "47 seconds remaining here. And it looks like Georges is over the ball. Looks like he wants to reset it, try to take off some more time on that clock. But now he's going to step out of the way, and it's going to be Leonardes ready to take the kick. The whistle blows, and we're underway. 45 seconds remaining. Back to Roberto. Roberto chips up to Garcia. Garcia loses it out of play, and Belenenses will take over with 39 seconds remaining. Again, futsal is a stop time game, so there's no time wasting with this going out of bounds. Ball is put in play. It did not come in. It was turned over, says Menoski, as it just went onto the field and rolled back off. So the Rio Stars will take over with 37 seconds remaining and a 1-goal lead. They're going to reset all the way to Roberto with 35 seconds remaining. Roberto plays forward. Maybe one more chance for Belenenses as this ball is skied high and out of play. Belenenses will get a kick in with 27 seconds right in front of the Rio Stars bench. Back to Pires. Pires mishandles it. He's going to be pressured by number 4 and chipped up front, headed in front. Ribeiro. Ribeiro skies it and out of play. 16 seconds remaining. Marquez finds Pires. Pires takes it to the center. Finds Bruninho. Bruninho turns and fires. Blocked in front. 11 seconds left. Pires. Sa. Bruninho. Blocked in front. Rio Stars looking to counter. One more chance for Sa. Sa gives it to Marquez. Marquez shot. Saved by Roberto. No, he was outside of the penalty area. Giorgio Zerva says he was outside of the penalty area, so we're going to get a direct free kick right outside the penalty area with 1 second remaining. So this will be the one chance for Belenenses to equalize. This will be the last play of the game. It's either going to go into the goal or the game is going to be over. And it looks like we have a player down for Belenenses. It's Paulo Ribeiro who's being talked to. As it looks like the Rio Stars think it should be over. And we have number 4, Leonardo St. Clair, going over into the Belenenses huddle, getting into a little bit of a pushing match there. I'm not sure what's going on over there. So we're trying to get things sorted out here. The clock still says 1 second remaining. All the officials are over by the Rio Stars bench, and all the players are down by the Rio Stars goal. Nobody watching that activity going on down there. Here comes Giorgio Cervas now to make sure that everything's in order over there. So eventually we are going to get a free kick here. And it will be the last play of the game. Unless, of course, an equalizer is scored. Thiago, Marquez, Pires, Bruninho, and Sa, the 5 on the court for the Belenenses. Georgios is going to start this play with a whistle after he sets the wall. It's going to be Marquez on the ball. Georgios making sure everybody respects the proper distance. 5 meters is the distance in futsal. Marquez resets the Sa shot, and it was blocked by his own teammate. Oh no! Thiago got in the way of the shot. And the Rio Stars will take the game 2-1. What a final match. What a great weekend of futsal. I'd like to thank the USFF, Sport Court, all our sponsors, Sada Airlines, Bay Coast Bank, Navigant Credit Union, Canaan Group, Ford Coach, Tours Royce, Hampton Inn, Fall River Westport. We Got Soccer for making this a fantastic weekend of futsal. Hopefully some of you guys were introduced to the sport for the first time and you'll look into it more in the future. We're going to have our trophy presentation. I'd like to thank all of our production crew. I'm not even going to try with the names anymore. I'd like to thank our hosts this weekend. On Friday, Rhode Island College. Yesterday, BMC Durfee High School. And today, UMass Boston. So that's going to do it for me. Stay tuned for the trophy presentation. I'm Doug Chin. Have a nice night.
How'd you like it? You're going to play again next year? Okay. And this time, we would like to invite the captain and the coach from Os Belenenses, as well as the coach and the captain from the Rio de Janeiro Stars. The captain and the coach, please. Let's put the well. We have a really Craig Thornberg that has, it's our collaborator in putting this event together. Craig is going to present the Belenenses first with the participation plaque. Go ahead, Craig.
Congratulations to you both. It's been a pleasure to have you both with us. You've been absolute great sports people and amazing matches you've trained recently. Thank you so much.
At this time, if you guys remain over here, please, would like to offer you with the trophy for your phenomenal participation, and we are going to do it again. Greg, if you'd like to say a few words.
On behalf of New England International Futsal Challenge, the co-champions, second place, is awarded to Os Belenenses.
At this time, I would like to invite the Brazilian, the Real Stars coach, as well as the captain. Let's put our hands together for Real Stars over here, straight from Brazil. They're going back tomorrow. This is Coach Avalar and Vinicius. Would like to make a presentation as well for participation in the tournament. For the Real Stars, and Greg, if you'd like to say a few words.
I think I'll say on behalf of the entire Brazilian community from here at the arena, we'd like to thank you for participating in this amazing event. Thank you very much.
And as we continue with the presentation over here, the captain, Craig Thornberg, is going to present you with the trophy for the first place for the championships. Craig, please. Congratulations.